Hello friends! In this art video, I'm going to show you how to draw the Beauvoir Bear in two ways. I'm going to divide my paper down the middle to show you options for Bear 1 and options for Bear 2. You can combine the different noses and mouth and shirt types that I show you on both, but here I'm going to draw two bears at the same time just to show you how to draw our official Beauvoir Bear. The first thing that we're going to start with for both of our bears is the nose, and that's basically the same. In the middle of your paper, a little bit towards the top, I'm going to start with a rounded triangle. That's going to be my bear's nose. Now this triangle, I am just going to use black for this. I'm giving myself a little crescent shape as the highlight. I'm going to fill in around that highlight as if that's a little shine on the wet bear nose. Dogs have wet noses, a lot of animals have wet noses, and I'm gonna make my bear have a wet nose by showing that little shine or highlight that you might also see on eyes. There's my bear's nose. Now options for the mouth. If you wanna do a simple mouth, you can do a line down and a J hook or a fish hook. Follow that line down and do it backwards. That's one option for your bear's mouth. Another option to show an open mouth would be a gentle curve, a deeper U curve. I give him two teeth there and space for a tongue. And I will shade the back of the mouth in solid. Of course, you can add color to this. I'm just using my black pen right now. So those are your two mouth options. Before I do the eyes though, I'm actually gonna give myself a little border for the bear's muzzle. That's the part of the snout. I'm gonna do a line or a ring of dots around its nose and mouth. This will become clear why we're doing this once we do the fur. Giving myself an oval of dots around the nose and mouth. On top of that, I'm gonna put two circles. They could be big, they could be small. Maybe I'll do this one a little smaller. And just like I put a highlight shape for the nose, I'm gonna do that on the eyes. And that highlight shape can be a circle, can be a crescent, and as before, I'm gonna fill that in. Now, we're gonna put the top of the bear's head on, and there's kind of two options. They're basically the same. If on one bear, you just wanna give a gentle curve and two upside down hills for ears, that will work. On this bear, I'm gonna give it kind of the top of a heart shape, and then the ear, and then the ear. Bears have rounded ears. Now we're gonna start to do the rest of the head, and then I'll talk about fur, and we're gonna put our bears in clothing. That will come last. I'm going to do a shape on the side, and the same shape on the other side, and they're kind of two tall C shapes. And then to connect the two, I'm gonna come down a little bit and connect. Same thing here, I'm gonna come out a little bit, I'm gonna come out a little bit, and then I'm gonna come down a little bit and connect. Now for the shoulders, just a line out to the side and a line out to the side. Same thing on this bear, line out to the side, line out to the side. I'm going back to the ears for a moment. I just thought if you want, you could also put shapes, these little gumdrop shapes, an upside down U with a line across the bottom inside the ears, and shade those in solid black as well, because the ears do have a piece that goes inward. Now for the fur, we're gonna do the fur, and the fur I'm gonna start, but I'm gonna come back to because it takes a while. From all of these dots that we drew for ourselves, we're gonna have dashes, short lines extending away from the muzzle. And this is to simulate the texture of fur. It's an implied texture. If you touch the paper, of course, it just feels like paper. But when we look at these lines, hopefully it will look as if our bear is covered with a snugly coat of fur. So I'm gonna do lots of lines. And when I get to the eyes, this is just my technique. I like to have the lines go out away radially from the eye. But then once I get away from that, I can have the lines or these dashes continue in kind of any direction, but I kind of like to make them go like here. They're all going to be parallel around here. This will stay empty to give it the impression that the muzzle or the snout of the bear is coming towards us. So we're gonna fill in with fur everywhere on the bear's head except for in there. And of course, these sections of ear, we can shade those in solid. And I'm gonna continue making my fur lines across the whole head of my bear, and I'll come back to that. I'm gonna do the same thing on this bear. From these dots, I'm extending them with rows and rows and rows of short dash lines to simulate fur. I'm gonna do that all the way around all the way around the eyes until my bear has a very full coat of fur. I will come back to that for the shirt or the sweater or whatever your bear is wearing. A lot of options there. I hope you get creative with it. If you want it to make it look like your bear is wearing overalls, easy to do. Maybe those overalls have a pocket, and maybe you have an artist bear, and in that pocket they've got some art tools, pencils and pens, and a paintbrush in their pocket. I don't know. It's up to you what you create, what your bear is wearing. Maybe the shirt underneath has stripes or checkers or plaid. Really easy to make those patterns, and your picture will probably look even better if you take the time to do some of those details. And I'm gonna color this in checkerboard pattern or plaid. Maybe this will be blue to simulate denim, to look like denim of overall, jean overall. Gotta go back and finish the fur. Maybe I fill in the background with a solid color. For this bear, maybe they're just wearing an awesome sweater, and I'm gonna do some patterns on it. Maybe there's rings like that, and maybe there's stars on their sweater. Maybe there's stars and rainbows. Maybe there are anything you want. Maybe it even says your bear's name. Maybe they have a name tag here and it says something.